Okay, let's start. In the beginning, we need to talk about square root. Square root has a sign or a symbol like this symbol, not like the symbol or like this shape. Before we start talk about square root, we need to remember something called square numbers. In math, we have two types of numbers. We have numbers called square numbers, and we have cubic numbers. Cubic numbers is for grade 8, but I will give you a hint about cubic numbers. But square numbers in grade 7. What is the meaning of square numbers? Square numbers, I will write some examples for square numbers, and I think you will recognize what is the meaning of square numbers. Square numbers, like 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100, 121, 144. All of these numbers is called square number. Why this number is called square number? Because this number comes from product of two similar numbers. Like 1 comes from 1 times 1, or -1 times -1. Both of these two numbers are the same, 1 and 1 the same, -1, -1. 4 come from product of 2 times 2, or -2 times -2. Both of these two numbers are the same, 2 and 2, -2, -2, and all of these numbers are the same. 9 come from 3 times 3, or -3 times -3. 16, 4 times 4, -4 times -4. 25, 5 times 5, or -5 times -5. So all of this number come from product of two similar number, like 1 times 1, or -1 times -1. So we call this number is a square number. We call this number is a square number. And we have something called cubic number, but we will study in grade 8. Cubic number is come from product of three similar number, like 8 come from 2 times 2 times 2. So we call 8 is cubic number. We call 8 is cubic number because 8 come from three similar numbers. So 8 called cubic number, like 8, like 27, like 64. 64 also is cubic number. 64 is square number and the cubic number because 64 come from 8 times 8, or we can call 64 come from 4 times 4 times 4. So 64 is common between square numbers and cubic numbers. Okay, why we remember square numbers? Why? What is the aim from study square number? We study square number to make square root is easy, because square root in grade 7 we study square root for perfect rational number. Square root for perfect rational number. What is the meaning of perfect rational number? Because when we try to write this in the calculator, square root of 4, the answer will be 2. Here we don't have fraction, or we don't have decimal. So this is perfect square root. It's called perfect square root. So what is the difference between perfect square root and non-perfect? Perfect all the time with whole number, like 2, like 4, like 6, like 10, like numbers like this. But not non-perfect will be decimal or fraction. When you try to write square root of 3, if you try to write square root of 3, it will come something 1 point some numbers here, so it's not perfect. So this called perfect, and this called not perfect. But this is for grade 8. We'll not study today. Today, our aim is to study the square root for perfect rational number. When you write square root of 4, it will be 2. And 4 is a square number. And all of this number, we write it here, all of this number is perfect numbers. Because when we try to write square root of all of this number, if you try to write square root of all of this number, you will find you will not take decimal or fraction. You will not get decimal or fraction all the time. You will have whole number. Okay. Square root. For any number, square root is like this tree, and any number has two roots, has positive root and negative root. All of the number has two roots, positive root and negative root. As example, if I want to find the positive root for square root 4 equal to, if I want to find the negative square root, the negative root, we will write it like negative square root of 4. We will get negative. So square root of 4 equal to, this is the positive root. Negative 4, negative root 4, negative root 4 equal negative 2. It's called the negative root. So we have two types of square root. We have negative root and we have positive root. The negative root, when we write negative square root of 4, it will equal negative 2. To get the positive root, we will write it like square root of 4 without any sign here, and we will get 2 like that, okay? All of this will be easy because we write it all of this in the calculator, and you will get to get square root for variable, because it's very important, also not in this year, but in grade 8. How to get square root for x squared, or square root of x power 4, square root x power of 6, square root of x power of 10. To get the square root, remember this word, to get the square root for variable, all the time we divide the power with 2. We divide the power here with 2. We make divided 2 all the time to get the square root for the variable. We divide the power with 2. So 2, we write the variable here x and make the power here divided 2. 2 divided 2 equal 1. You can write it x power of 1, or you can write it x like that. Both are the same and both are correct. Here we write x and make 4 divide 2. 4 divide 2 equal 2. 4 divide 2 equal 2. So the answer of square root power of 4 equal x power of 2. Here. You can't write this in your calculator. You can't write it. So we divide the power with 2. X, 6 divide 2 equals 3. Here. Divided 2. 10 divide 2, x power of 5. All the time will be like that, and all the time to get the square root of the variable, we divide the power by 2. We divide all the power here by 2, okay? But if we have square root of x, we want to get the square root of x. I think I talk about this example in the class, how to get square root of x. By the same method, here we divide 2, divide 2, divide 2, divide 2. Here also we need to divide. But how come? Here we don't have number. No, here we have numbers. Here we have 1. Here we have 1. So by the same method, we can take x and write it here. By the same method, we can take x and write it here and they make 1 divided 2. Here we divided 2. 1 divided 2, we can write it like half, x power of half. So here we divide 2, divide 2, divide 2, but here don't tell me we don't have any number here. No, we have number, we have 1. So we can divide it 1 by 2 equal half. So the answer of x root x, x power of half, okay? You will revise all of this in grade 8, but in grade 8, you will take cubic root, not square root. You will take cubic root, okay? Why we learn this? We learn this to know how to get the answer of square root of 25 x power of 12. We will not have any problem to write square root of 25 in the calculator. If you write square root of 25, you will get 5. But here, I want to get the answer of x power of 12. To get the answer of x power of 12, you will divide the power with 2. 12 divided 2 equal x power of 6. So the answer of root 25 x power of 12, we write the number in the calculator, root 25, we will write it in the calculator, equal 5. And x power of 12, to get the answer of x power of 12, we divide 12 by 2. 12 divided by 2 equal x power of 6, okay? Here, another exercise. If we have a fraction, root 4 over 9, a power of 4, p power of 8. And we want to get the answer. Here, we will divide this question into 2 parts. We will divide it into 2 parts like this. We will divide it into 2 parts. We will write square root of 4 over 9 in the calculator. Open your calculator. Click on square root, make fraction, write 4 over 9. You will get 2 over 3. This is 4 numbers. This is a part 1, 4 numbers. Part 2, we want to get square root for this variable, a power of 4 and p power of 8. I tell you here, to get the answer of the variable, you will divide the power by 2 here, divided by 2. 4 divided 2 will equal a power of 2. Here, 8 divided 2 will be p power of 4. Okay? This is what I want to revise in the beginning about the square root. Now I will open the mic for you to talk about your research. Okay.